who the people are that want to communicate with me, and if there's anything that I can do to help them, or if there's any information that they need to share with me. And it's a wonderful thing having these people in these various parts of the planet who are willing to share with me. And very often I find out that because of their attunement with nature, they are able to communicate with some of the birds. And in the area where I live, the ravens seem to be the principal carrier of message. And very often, if there's something that I need to talk to these people in these spiritual cities, the ravens will come outside and they will call incessantly. And when this happens, I will, with the use of the divining rods, I will ask who it is and what they need and so forth. And as soon as I start communicating with the people with these spiritual cities, the ravens quiet down, and their work is done. So these are the things that we can do. We can work with the planet. We can work with these other cultures that are on the planet that are not known. And we can, this helps to improve our consciousness, because as we do our work with other people, they're also sharing things with us that we can share with others. So I'm very happy to be able to share this with you. And I'm willing to show anybody these things that they want to, and anything that I guess to expand other people's consciousness. If I'm able to do that, I'll be happy to do that. And I also like to hear other people's experiences and put them together. And I'm finding so many people that I can relate to, and so many people that have experiences that they haven't been able to answer, and they don't know what's going on. And this way here, I'm able to share with them as to what their experience is and what they are experiencing. And thank you very much for all your cooperation, and to this wonderful host that we have here. And we hope to be able to share with other people in many different parts of the planet. What I did with the book, what was inside of the book, I did something, it was called philosophical illustrations. Many of these concepts, philosophical concepts, are ambiguous. So what I tried to do was put in graphic form the philosophical concepts, and that way I find it was easier to explain some of these concepts if a person can get a visual of it. And so much of the pages in the book have graphic illustrations on them. And I'm not an artist, so it was very difficult with me. It would be fun if I did have somebody that was an artist that could transpose these pictures into something a little more easy to recognize. And they told me experiences that go back into the history of our planet, and I found out that the mainline history that we learned in school is not correct, and that there are phases of our history that have been blocked out, and the different cultures, the different rises and falls of the cultures, they find out that a culture will come into existence and form an empire. And then sometimes human life loses its value. And they said every empire on this planet that has risen to a position of strength, when they had no regard for human life, that's when their culture came to an end. That's where their empire came to an end. And they said it's so important to value human life. And human life is not to be taken lightly. They say there's many people in many dimensions that would give their right arm to be in our position. They envy us because we're the ones that are growing, and in the physical, our learning experience is accelerated many, many times. And we are in a position of honor. And they also, part of the information in the book was information of a scientific nature, but it had to do with metaphysics, because metaphysics is beyond the five senses. Meta meaning more than, and physics, of course, is physics. And we find out that physics is not a true and fast law. Scientists like to deal with law and make these theorems and propositions